Let's bring in retired U.S. Army Major General William Enyart. General Enyart, as Israel continues to delay its invasion of Gaza, fighting continues to spread throughout the region. We've seen Israeli strikes on targets in both the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. And the IDF is fighting Hezbollah along Israel's northern border. Now, the IDF is reporting what it's calling a security incident along near its border with Egypt in the Sinai Desert. How much longer can Israel put off this ground invasion that they say is necessary to root out Hamas?
Well, Nick, that's a terrific question, and I don't think anyone knows the answer to that, including the Israeli military and the Israeli political leadership. It's going to be a decision that will be made by the political leadership. There is a lot of pressure on the government to launch a strike. Certainly, the Israelis are preparing. Reservists have been called up in massive quantities. Those need to be trained. And these attacks, what we would call a probing attack on the part of the IDF made into Gaza, are to gather intelligence and to determine where Hamas strong points are located.
Now, General Enyart, Israel has made 3 raids into Gaza in recent days to prepare for battlefield for the expected ground invasion. What exactly does that mean? Because it seems to me the longer they hold off, the longer public opinion starts to shift.
Well, that's certainly a factor that they have to take into account, Nick. I think that there are several factors they're looking at. One, as your previous correspondent noted, are the 229 hostages that are being held. I think they're trying to negotiate a release of those folks, particularly since so many of them, well over half, so many of them are citizens of other nations. And certainly those other nations are putting pressure on Israel to hold off on an attack until such time as a potential release could be negotiated. The delay benefits the Israelis in that it gives them more time to train up, more time to launch probing attacks, more time to gather intelligence, while it also benefits Hamas in that it gives them more time to prepare for the expected assault.
And General, before I lose you, I want to ask you a couple more questions. I want to shift to the Pentagon. They say that there have been 16 attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria in the last 11 days, injuring nearly 24 U.S. American troops. Is the Biden administration's deterrence strategy in the Middle East working, or are they making a misstep here?
Well, Nick, the question is whether deterrence is effective against terrorist groups or not. There are many strategists who would say that terrorist groups really don't respond very much to deterrence. Iran, on the other hand, may well, because it's a nation state. Iran really is the puppet master here. It controls the arms supply, the training, the money, the resources that these terrorist groups need to operate. Iran, as a nation state, has far more to lose than these terrorist groups do. Certainly, the Biden administration is making the right steps in deploying these anti-aircraft missiles or anti-missile missiles, the THAAD system, the Patriots, and the Avengers. And that's a layered approach, Nick, that reaches anywhere from 1/10 of a mile out to 120 miles to destroy incoming missiles and rockets launched against U.S. forces. Clearly, they're seeking to protect American service members from these wanton attacks by the terrorists and Iran.
General Enyart, last question for you there, because I have to wrap. You have no reason to doubt our ability to both protect Israel, work with Ukraine, and protect the men and women serving abroad.
Well, I think that we can certainly juggle all of those balls. But I can tell you, Nick, that the assault in Israel and the chaos in the Middle East certainly benefits both Putin and China. It distracts American attention. While we have the capability of responding to all of those, clearly, as you can tell just from watching the news, Ukraine has virtually dropped off the news. And other than this Chinese fighter plane, Taiwan has virtually dropped off the news. So I think we need to be able to balance all 3 of these potential problems.
Major General William Enyart, thank you again, sir, for your time.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.